You would have surely heard by now the rumors and alleged leaked proof of the third augmentation Dragthea Evoker spec coming sometime in Dragonflight patch 10.1. A true support role, almost sounding like a bard from some other MMORPG. In this video I'll very clearly explain to you, no BS style, why this is not going to be what the loudest clickbaiters of WoW content creators community are trying to catch you with. Firstly, what are they saying? Well, this particular professional clickbaiter and this another famous dude on speed keep rehashing the same old, largely unsubstantiated and very stretched facts that certain dialogue lines have been data mined that basically suggest that we are getting this augmenter evoker. That sounds like it's supposed to make the team members stronger, the role that will be doing that, similar to the very early implementations of a Horde Shaman or Alliance Paladin, sometime back in 2004-2005, when the trees were taller and I still had hair. Here is why it's not gonna happen, and by the way, stick around or fast forward if you are more interested in what I think is likely to happen. So, why not a pure support augmentation spec, blah blah blah, all that yada yada that they are talking about? Because, first, balancing of this new role addition to the game would be a nightmare among other things. If they introduce a pure support spec, it's basically a new support role in the game. In addition, and breaking essentially the holy trinity of a tank, healer, DPS that we've had very successfully in WoW. Commercially it has been proven for almost 2 decades. This opens more cans of worms, yes, plural, cans of worms, because negatives and trouble for the developers and players would outweigh the instant gratification of this subjective little intermittent fun that we'd have when a new role is introduced. Sure, it would be fun for the whole 5 minutes. Second point, if it is designed to be that pure support role, essentially, is going to suck in solo gameplay, as those roles always do, and as opposed to what 2% of WoW elitist players are thinking, their cohort is not the one that actually pays majority of Blizzard's bills. It's us, solo PvE casuals, who need a class and spec that's fun, that can stand on its own, and the pure support class doesn't do that typically if you take a look at other MMORPG games out there. Point number 3. If it is not a pure support, and again something like a mishmash, like an old shaman or a pally, basically a buffer with a bit of DPS or heals thrown into their mix of abilities, what would make it unique? Or, in other words, why play it, basically, versus, say, a disciplined priest, or the already mentioned amazing and dominating jacks of all trades, shaman and pally of the present day and time? The answer, whether you like it or not, is nothing would make it stand out. Nothing would make you choose that one over another. Point number 4. If we get a pure support role and spec in Dragthea Evoker, basically, what about every other race in the game, huh? This new and presumably useful role, right? Otherwise, why introduce it? Can be played only by Dragthea then, making them basically mandatory in a group. And if they're not mandatory, then who on earth would take this, not sure what this in fact is, instead of a solid DPS or a solid time-proven healing class? The answer is, once again, nobody. And I could squeeze more points in here if I could be bothered and if I was a little bit more commercially inclined content creator, but I'm not really, and I can't be, let's use a subtle term here, effed. So, what is likely to happen then, in my humble opinion? Well, first of all, the new spec is absolutely surely coming. It's been telegraphed loud and clear. I'll give them that, and I'm excited about it. In case you misunderstood or misheard the tone of this whole video, I'm a supporter of World of Warcraft. I like that they're making bold moves. I do like them. I just don't like the BS floating around. Point number 2. It is not going to be a pure support under any circumstances, as I've just explained to you a few moments ago. Point number 3. It is likely to be either a weird experiment, you know, of some sort of a mixed, like a kind of a mixed abilities thing, and I am inclined to believe that this is going to be a ranged tank. Yes, bear with me, I know, but pure support role of an augmenter is even more stupid if you thought that ranged tank is stupid. Yeah, so bear with me. At least a tank, like, let's start by saying that at least a tank would fit nicely into the holy trinity of time-proven roles in WoW. And how would I think this Augmenter Draxia would be a tank? So, during an interview that I can't be bothered right now to dig out, a recent interview with the devs, they said very clearly that no, not another melee tank spec is coming, certainly not for Draxia. But they danced around, and I can't remember exactly how they said it, but they danced around some kind of ranged tank or ranged something along those lines idea, okay? Now, how would they do it? Well, how the hell do I know? But the likely thing is that this augmenter, yes, there will be augmenters, they will augment another person in a group, giving them extra tanking abilities. That is basically my pitch to you, and that is basically what I think is very likely to happen. So, effectively, they are ranged, and they are buffing / helping another player, say an overzealous Fury Warrior, we've all seen those rushing ahead, yes, to be the tank of the group, to basically pull threat, have extra defensive abilities and stuff like that. Or it could even be a mage. Gruul's Lair of the old times says hello. Remember those times, if you are as old as I am? Wouldn't that be amazing and awesome? I actually think that would be amazing and awesome. It fits into the whole you augment others idea, except you're basically a ranged tank by delegation. Yeah? Print it out on a shirt, and this is the first place and the place where you heard it first, okay? And that's my personal theory, based on my own common sense and knowing WoW for many, many years, knowing it quite well, and knowing how Blizzard works. And obviously, yes, I took into account and I heard out what other people had to say about this. As much as cringe-worthy a lot of that stuff was, I did hear them out. Now it's your turn to let me know in the comments down below to the video what you think is likely. Are the clickbaiters suggesting a pure support role and spec right? Are they right? Or does it sound like I could be right with my ranged tank by delegation? Trademarked Gyrotex Gaming. Am I right? What do you think? Let's talk. As long as you're not a troll, I welcome everyone's opinion. I don't shut anyone down. Let's have a chat. And please, while I have your attention and while you're at it, like the video if you liked it, because it counts for a lot and tells me that you're interested in the content I'm producing. And goodbye for now. Have a nice day.
Breath incoming. Watch all.